Yeah, my name's Marcel Vanderweer. I have a 6-year-old son, Jacob. I'm married to Amy.
So my name is Dan. My wife is Allison, and we have a beautiful girl, Avalon, and another on the way in October.
I'm Stetson Ford. I come to this church. I've been going to this church for a while. I've been married for 5 years to Rachel, formerly Holiday, now Ford.
Avalon will be 11 months very shortly, and so we are just enjoying the first months of parenthood.
Amy teaches at Timothy Christian School, grade 6, and I'm an editor for 2 news magazines.
We were married for a while, and then we decided to talk about having a family, and then that was a journey that took a couple of years. But finally, the Lord's blessed us, and we are due in August.
My favorite aspect of being a father, fatherhood, thus far is those initial moments of this tiny human developing personality and just being there to witness this being with its own agency and understanding of the world develop and grow and connect with you. It's really special.
What I look forward to most about being a father is being there for those milestones. Like from the small ones, from like watching that baby pick up something with their fingertips to eating with a spoon, to birthdays, to sports or art or music, and like just being there and just being a part of it and just watching something from a little baby to a full adult be nurtured by me and Rachel.
Honestly, just having the opportunity to be a father is one of the biggest blessings in my life. My favorite aspect, though, is just watching my son Jacob experience life. It could be reading a book, a new book, learning how to skate, building a new Lego set. All of it brings such joy to him, and it's just such a joyous experience as a dad as well to watch that happen. I should note that even when it comes to Bible stories, just seeing them click in his mind and having the ability to retell and share his faith is also a huge blessing to me.
It's pretty high. I always used to say that I'll never be like my father. So in that case, like my just initial would just, I want to be present. I want to be always there when my child needs me. I don't want to break any promises. And I held that pretty high because I had so much rage against my father. But through just the work I had and just growing in my relationship with Christ, I rekindled my relationship with my dad, and I got to see how passionate he is for kids. So I also put that in my aspects now for myself, that I want to be like super passionate for my kids.
Yeah, I grew up in a large family, small town, country farm. It was a great childhood. But when I became a journalist at age 21, I found that a lot of different life opportunities opened up. And so when I thought about becoming a father, I wanted to offer those experiences to my children a little earlier in life. And what I thought what would happen is that I would learn all of those things before becoming a father, and that didn't happen. So how it is in reality is often Jacob and I are learning these things together. For instance, fishing. I never did mass strip before he came along, and I think last summer, he outfished me 30-2. But there's still great joy in the adventure together.
My expectation of myself being a father, I have high standards for myself, part of my perfectionism, but was really just to be my best, to exhibit my best characteristics and traits, try to set as best an example I can. And in those moments where you are exhausted and sort of taxed beyond what you anticipated or expected, you can't be that best self. your inner person takes over, and you realize, yeah, I'm not perfect. Not that when you're being truthful, you ever think that, but we lie to ourselves and say that we can be. So, yeah, just the expectation that I could be better. And while that is true, we're growing and continue to develop and recognize our pitfalls and adjust. Just the reality that I am who I am, and my daughter is going to know that. My daughters will know who I am. They'll learn all the different aspects of me, and it's not realistic to, try and put on a perfect front or be something that I'm not. How can I be the best version of the real me, the real expectations that I can give myself of, I can adjust my reactions in these situations, but to expect myself not to react at all is unrealistic.
So yeah, as I was growing up, I viewed God as the creator, as the almighty, holy, but also judge. And I didn't always understand fully the aspect of his mercy. But as I became a father myself, I began to understand just how much God loves me and how he wants me to live my best life for him. And my son Jacob right now has a sign on his door that says, "Dad is the best ever." And when I see that, it fills my heart to overflowing with the reciprocal love. And what I've learned is that when we worship God and we give our life to him, that gives his heart and my mind that same type of joy, just overflowing as he watches his children love him and worship him for who he is.
Yes, definitely. The journey was hard. Even the pregnancy there were some up and down things and just trying to figure it out. But you know what? We just decided, God's with us and he's got our kid in his hands. So just how much we trusted in God and had faith in him and preparing our child to be in this world. It just it changed us from having stress and fear to just patiently waiting.
I would say that God has just been so present and sovereign and just been abundant in his provision for us, leading up to my daughter's birth and since. And just having these tiny, innocent creations just bring you into God's presence. Holding that little baby is just something completely different. You've never experienced God in this way because it's a completely different experience, and an entirely different intimacy. We sexualize so many things in our society, even being in an intimate relationship with another adult, in the back of people's mind, there's always that sexual tension. And to have this innocent little being void of that entirely, you just feel this intimacy with God that's different. And those moments when they've just fallen asleep and the face completely relaxed, and it's just the ultimate innocence. The mischievous looks are gone, and it's just very precious. And I found in those first few months when things were difficult and we were learning Abby's communication style, and what her different things meant. It really pushed us to be reliant on God, And in those moments when I didn't have anything else to give, just sitting there in God's presence and asking for more, asking what only He could provide, really pushed me closer to Him. And I would say just that little face, little body just pulls you in. That's, I think, ultimately a way that God interacts with us as parents, and especially fathers, to have that intimate connection.
I've learned by watching my male role models from this church and growing up, and what they've learned from the Bible, and just for myself, just seeing God zealous, how zealous He is for us. Like, I want that. I want that for my child, to be like, this person will go above and beyond to protect my welfare.